I added my rule here in the last lecture, but it's missing a loader. And for JavaScript, I mentioned that I want to use Babel, the de facto standard for transpiling my JavaScript. We'll install it with npm install --save dev again, because it's a development only dependency. And we need to install the Babel-loader package. That, however, does just provide the hook for Webpack. Babel itself is a library which kind of has the knowledge about how to transpile your JavaScript. So we also need to install Babel-core, which holds that knowledge. We now also need some configurations to basically tell Babel which kind of next generation JavaScript or which special JavaScript syntax we want to support. And here, these are so-called presets. The packages we need are Babel-preset-react to support JSX and Babel-preset-env for environment adjusting preset, which basically has a look at the features we use and automatically transpiles everything correctly. So these are the dependencies I'll install now. Now we also need to configure our project. We need to configure Babel first of all. So the installation finished, now we need to configure Babel. Because just because we installed the presets doesn't make Babel use them. It doesn't analyze all our packages we installed and then see if there's a preset inside of them. So instead we add a new file, dot, and the dot at the beginning is important, Babel-rc. That's a configuration file Babel will automatically read if it's in our root folder. So in the same folder where we will later run our Webpack build workflow. The Babel-rc file takes a JSON configuration, and there we should add a presets node. Now we can make Babel aware of all the presets we want to apply. And here I want to apply two of the presets. The first one is env and the second is react. So these are the two presets we installed without the Babel-preset- thing at the beginning, just the part at the end. So react and env. These are the two presets. Now the env preset will receive some special configuration from my side. I do this by enclosing it into an array with square brackets, and then the second argument after the name of the preset is a JavaScript object where I can configure it. And here I want to set up the targets of that preset, which means which browser versions do I want to support. That's of course important. It automatically identifies which next generation features I use, but to know what next generation actually means, it needs to know what my current gen is. So which browsers do I target with my app? So targets is another JavaScript object where we can then set up browsers, and browsers then is an array where we can use the browser list type of configuration. You can Google for browser list to find this repository here to learn more about the syntax you can use for configuring browsers. However, the syntax I'll show you here is a pretty common setup. So what we want to do here is we want to target greater 1% of market share or last two versions. So this will be combined with an or in between. So now this is the target environment we want to support. And this is what Babel will then take into account when compiling our next generation JavaScript to current gen. It will compile it to JavaScript, which runs in browsers which fulfill this criteria. So with that, we got the Babel configuration finished. Now we can add the Babel loader in our Webpack config. There, I'll therefore add a loader in single quotation marks, the Babel-loader. So here I take the full name of the package we installed, Babel loader. So now it will be applied to JavaScript files compiling the JSX and next generation JavaScript features. It would still fail though, because we also import CSS, which Webpack wouldn't understand. It only understands JavaScript natively. And in the PSI image component, it would import CSS and even an image. So we need to support that too. Let's add support for these types of files in the next lecture.